penetrates. It can break up lumps, bumps, adhesions. So great for cysts in the breast, for breast cancer, great for irritable bowel, great for constipation. It's very good at breaking up stones in the gallbladder, kidney stones, bone spurs. If the bone spurs...
Hey there! Let's talk about something fascinating and incredibly useful: natural home remedies. If you've ever felt overwhelmed by conventional treatments, or wondered if there's a better way to take care of yourself and your family, you're not alone. Barbara O'Neill, a well-known health educator, has a wealth of knowledge about simple, natural remedies that work wonders. What's great is that these remedies use everyday ingredients you probably already have at home. Things like castor oil, onions, garlic, and ginger. Today, we're diving deep into her advice, looking at how these remedies work, and most importantly, how you can use them to improve your health. Castor Oil Compress.
And the first one we're going to look at is castor oil compresses. It's not a poultice, it's a compress. Castor oil penetrates deeper than any other oil.
Barbara calls it a penetrating oil, and she's not kidding. Castor oil doesn't just sit on the surface. It actually goes deep into the body, breaking down things like cysts, lumps, adhesions, and even stones in the gallbladder or kidneys. Sounds impressive, right? Now, how do you use it? Simple. You make a compress. All you need is an absorbent material. Barbara recommends something like an incontinence pad. And you soak it with castor oil.
And I'm doing it now because it's going to take a little while to soak in. And what I do is I basically do the middle third, because as it soaks in, it'll spread out a little bit further. I can't hold that up now, but probably in about 15 minutes I will be able to hold it up. You see, it's such a thick oil, it just sits on top. So you've got to give it time to soak through. I haven't covered it because then there's no leeway for the excess oil to go. And also, when it goes on your hot body, the oil will thin and spread out a little bit more. So you want to give a little bit of room for spreading.
Place the pad over the area you're targeting, like your abdomen if you're dealing with constipation, or your chest for congestion. Seal it in with some plastic wrap or a cloth to keep it in place, and let it work its magic. Here's the cool part. Castor oil compresses aren't a one-and-done deal. You can reuse them for about a month. Just make sure you're consistent. Barbara shares stories of people resolving chronic issues like scar tissue pain or fibroids with these compresses. But she emphasizes one thing: patience. Natural remedies take time, but the results are worth it. The Onion Poultice. Next up, let's talk onions. You might think onions are just for cooking, but they're actually a powerhouse when it comes to detoxing and healing. Barbara explains that onions draw out toxins, making them perfect for things like earaches, boils, and even night coughs. Here's how it works.
I steam the onion up on the stove, and then I cut it in half under her directions, so that what you're looking at is the rings. So you keep the skin on and it keeps everything in place. And I wrapped the onion up in a cloth, a few layers, and the few layers of cloth will help to keep it warm, but also just to shield the direct heat from being too hot. I tested it on my arm and I put it on his ear. I covered it with a piece of plastic, and what that does is that just insulates it. And then he was just a little boy, I was breastfeeding him, and I could put the onion between his ear and my arm, and I could feel the heat.
You can also do it another way.
I have since learned that you can steam it and squeeze it. And if you squeeze it, you'll get a few drops of juice out. This is when it's hot, and it'll be boiling hot, but when the hot juice hits the spoon, it'll go a nice temperature, and you can put that in the ear. You can even use, one of these little, soak it up and squirt it straight in the ear.
For earaches, you can steam an onion, wrap it in cloth, and place it over the ear. The warmth and healing properties of the onion draw out the pain and infection. Have a stubborn boil? Same method applies. Let the onion do its detox magic. But here's an important tip. Always discard the onion after use. Why? Because it's absorbed the toxins, and you don't want to reintroduce those back into your body. Now, if you're dealing with a night cough, Barbara has an unexpected but effective trick. Raw onion on the soles of your feet. Yep, you heard that right. Chop up some raw onion, secure it under your feet with socks, and let it work overnight.
And we're going to put the onion on the bottom of the feet for if someone has a bad cough in the night. And I'm going to use a plastic bag. Now at Misty Mountain we buy boxes of starch bags, so they're made out of starch, and that would be the best. Now if you don't have starch bags, you can certainly use a cloth. So you might use a cloth, put the onion like that and put it in the bag. And then what you do is you put your foot on the onion like that, and then you twist it around and put a sock on. So the bottom of the feet is touching the onion. And then you put a sock on and it holds it in place.
Bonus tip. You can even make a simple cough syrup by layering chopped onion and honey in a jar. The mixture produces a soothing syrup that's great for clearing congestion. Garlic.
I was reading one research paper that said garlic is 6 times more potent than tetracycline. Now tetracycline is a antibiotic. To have it as potent as an antibiotic, or to play a role as an antibiotic, you must have 3 raw cloves a day. So an adult will have 3 raw cloves like that. For a child, you might halve the dose.
If onions are the detox king, garlic is the immune-boosting queen. It's potent, powerful, and packed with benefits. Barbara suggests using garlic slices for things like colds and coughs, especially for little ones. To use garlic for a cold or cough, the method is simple yet effective. Take a few fresh garlic cloves and slice them up. Place the slices directly onto the soles of your feet. Just like with onions, it's important to cover the garlic with a cloth to prevent any irritation or blistering. The idea is that the garlic's potent properties will be absorbed through the skin and travel through the body, providing relief. It's fascinating how such a small clove of garlic can have such a significant impact on the body. Despite its size, garlic is an incredibly concentrated source of beneficial compounds, including allicin, which is known for its ability to fight bacteria, viruses, and fungi. However, while garlic's benefits are undeniable, it's crucial to handle it with care. Garlic is strong, and too much can cause irritation, especially for sensitive skin. So it's important to start with a small amount and monitor how the body reacts. With garlic, a little really does go a long way. While it may be tempting to use it generously, it's always best to err on the side of caution. If you're unsure about trying this method, consulting a healthcare professional is always a good idea, especially when using garlic on children or babies. Ginger poultices.
Ginger can be used internally and ginger can be used externally. Internally, it's an anti-inflammatory, but it's probably mostly known for its anti-nausea effect. If you buy car sickness or seasickness tablets, it's compressed ginger. Now the easiest way I think to have this is to grate it. So you grate it on that little grater, and you'll grate about a teaspoon, and you put it in a little teapot and pour boiling water on it, and let it sit probably 10 minutes. Now that might be too strong for you, but I love it. I love it like that. If it's too strong, you just water it down a little bit. If someone's very cold, maybe they've been caught out in the cold or something and it's very hard to warm them up, give them a cup of hot ginger tea and it will warm them up very nicely. So it can be used for nausea, it can be used to warm a person if they're chilled or cold.
Ginger has long been celebrated for its powerful anti-inflammatory properties, which make it a go-to remedy for muscle soreness, joint pain, and even menstrual cramps. To make a ginger poultice, simply grate some fresh ginger and wrap it in a cloth. Once it's securely wrapped, apply the poultice to the area where you're feeling discomfort. The warmth from the ginger, combined with its natural anti-inflammatory compounds, helps draw out swelling and relax the muscles. It's especially effective for cramps or tension, making it a go-to remedy for athletes or anyone dealing with chronic pain. Plus, it smells amazing, definitely a bonus. So, why should you consider these remedies? For starters, they're accessible. You don't need fancy equipment or expensive medications, just a few common ingredients and a little know-how. They're also gentle on the body. Unlike some conventional treatments that can have harsh side effects, these remedies work with your body's natural healing processes. But here's the thing: they require a mindset shift. In today's world, we're so used to quick fixes that we forget healing takes time. Barbara's methods remind us to be patient and consistent. Whether it's a castor oil compress or an onion poultice, the key is to stick with it and trust the process. At the end of the day, Barbara O'Neill's message is simple. Your kitchen is your pharmacy. With a little knowledge and some basic ingredients, you can tackle a wide range of health issues naturally and effectively. So the next time you or a loved one isn't feeling well, why not give one of these natural remedies a try? You might just be surprised at how powerful they are. And remember, true healing takes time, patience, and a little bit of faith in the power of nature.